The sky over Earth turned red as alarms filled the air. People ran through the streets, their faces full of fear. No one had ever seen an alien ship before, and now hundreds of them were floating above major cities. These ships didn't fire on buildings or drop bombs. Instead, they sent silent energy pulses into the sky. One by one, Earth's satellites began to fall. Commander Rhea Carter stood inside the Earth Defense Command Center. She was calm, but her eyes were sharp. She watched the alien ships on the screen. Something was wrong. If these aliens wanted war, why were they only attacking satellites? Why not go after the army? Why not destroy power plants or government buildings? She turned to her officer. Any contact? Nothing, the young man replied. They're not responding to signals, but they're not hitting civilians either. Carter narrowed her eyes. She had seen war before. She had fought in space and on land. But this didn't feel like war. It felt like silence, controlled silence, like the enemy wanted something, but didn't want to speak. The president ordered a defensive strike. Earth's space fleets launched from orbit. Fighter jets screamed through the sky. One alien ship was hit near Asia and crashed into a mountain. Carter sent a team to recover it. The ship was badly damaged, but inside they found something shocking. There were no weapons, no bombs, only one dead alien and a glowing device that looked like a translator. The scientists activated it. At first, it just made static noise. Then a voice came through. It spoke in broken English. We did not start war. The room went quiet. Carter stared at the device. She asked, "Then who started it?" The voice replied, "We were tricked. Humans must know." The device went silent. The soldiers looked at each other. Who tricked them? And why were they blaming humans? Carter's mind raced. It didn't make sense. The media was calling it a full alien invasion. World leaders were preparing for a long war. But this didn't match what she was seeing. These aliens had the power to destroy Earth, yet they were careful. Too careful. That night, Carter couldn't sleep. She sat alone in her office, replaying the message. We did not start war. Humans must know. Over and over again. What did they mean? Who were they talking about? A knock came at the door. It was Dr. Lee, one of the science officers. He looked nervous. I checked the energy pattern from the alien pulse, he said. It wasn't made to destroy. It was made to block communication. Block it from who? Carter asked. From space, Dr. Lee said. Something. Out there. Something bigger. The next morning, Earth's internet and space communications were still down. The skies were quiet again. The alien ships had stopped moving. They just floated, like they were waiting. Carter called an emergency meeting. I believe we're not under attack, she said. I think they're trying to warn us. Some generals laughed. Others shouted. They destroyed our satellites. One of them said, they came in warships. They didn't fire on any cities, Carter replied. Not one human life was taken, except in defense. That's not how invasions work. The room was tense. Then another officer entered. We've picked up a faint signal from the moon base, he said. Something strange, a different language. They played the signal. It wasn't alien. It was human, but old, like a secret code from the past. Carter listened closely. The signal was repeating a phrase. They are watching. They know. Don't trust the ones with the gold crest. Gold crest. She remembered seeing the symbol on one of the alien ships, a gold shaped like a crown. But not all ships had it. Only a few. Carter stood up. This war, it's a setup. No one spoke. She turned to her team. Get me everything on the gold crest ships. Who commands them? Where they came from? I want answers. Outside the command center, the alien ships remained still, silent, peaceful, but not gone. And somewhere in the darkness of space, something else was watching. something that didn't want the truth to be found. The crash site in the mountains was quiet, but the air felt heavy. Snow covered the wreckage of the alien ship like a blanket, hiding its secrets. A small team of Earth soldiers and scientists stood around it, their breath turning white in the cold air. The hull of the ship was cracked, but inside, the rooms were still glowing with soft blue light. Dr. Elena Moore, a young but brilliant scientist, stepped carefully inside. She had studied alien tech for years, but this was her first time seeing the real thing. Her heart was racing. She reached a large metal door that had been broken open by the crash. Inside, she found a storage pod, half open. "Get a scan of that," she told the team. The scanner beeped. One of the soldiers stared at the screen and said, "That can't be right." Elena looked. The scan showed something impossible: human DNA on the inside walls of the alien pod. Everyone went silent. "How?" one of them asked. "Are they copying us?" "No," Elena said softly. "This is real human DNA. From Earth, and not recent. It's old." They took the sample back to the lab. When the test results came in, they were even stranger. The DNA came from a specific region of Earth, Central Africa, from a tribe that had gone extinct hundreds of years ago. Carter was called immediately. She stood in the lab, staring at the data. "You're telling me that human DNA was inside an alien ship, from a tribe that's been gone for centuries?" Elena nodded. "This isn't a copy. This is original. The ship had been carrying it like cargo. And there's more. We found something else." She handed Carter a metal cube. "We think it's a memory storage device." Carter gave it to the tech team. They worked for hours. Finally, a hologram appeared. It showed a group of humans, in chains, being loaded into a large alien ship. But the aliens weren't the same as the ones in the sky now. These had a different symbol: the gold crest. The room went cold. "Play it again," Carter said. They watched the humans being taken away, their faces full of fear. The gold crest aliens barked orders in a strange language. In the background, a tall, pale figure watched silently. Its eyes glowed, and its mouth never moved. "This is old," Elena said. "It's from before modern history, maybe thousands of years ago." Carter turned to her officers. "This isn't just a war. This is a cover-up. Someone out there has been stealing humans for centuries, and now they're trying to erase the evidence." That night, Carter sat alone again. She thought about everything. The translator saying, "We didn't start this war." The signal from the moon saying, "Don't trust the ones with the gold crest." And now the DNA. Someone was lying. But who? And why? Suddenly, the power flickered. The lights dimmed. A sharp tone rang through her earpiece. "Commander, you need to see this." Carter ran to the control room. On the main screen was a live feed from a military drone flying over the ocean. Below the waves, something was rising. A huge dark shape, bigger than any ship on Earth. It wasn't alien. It was built with Earth materials, but very old. "What is that?" she asked. The drone moved closer. On the top of the ship, a symbol appeared. The same gold crest. The officers looked at each other. "It's human." Carter spoke slowly. "No, it's someone using human technology, hiding in our oceans for years." The drone feed cut out. Silence filled the room. Then came a new signal, a voice on all channels, clear and cold. "You are not ready for the truth. Stay out of the deep, or be destroyed." Carter's hands tightened into fists. "Too late," she whispered. "We're already in." The control room stayed quiet long after the message ended. The words echoed in everyone's mind. "Stay out of the deep, or be destroyed." Commander Rhea Carter stood frozen, staring at the black screen where the drone feed had cut off. Whoever sent that message had power, and a warning. But Carter wasn't the kind of leader who backed down. She ordered her team to prepare another drone. "We need eyes on that ship again," she said. I want to know what it is, who built it, and how long it's been hiding down there." Meanwhile, Dr. Elena Moore continued studying the alien data cube. The footage of humans being taken into space thousands of years ago played again and again. She noticed something new. In one frame, a young girl dropped a small stone necklace as she was pulled into the ship. The symbol on it wasn't alien. It was an old Earth language, now extinct. Elena froze. She remembered seeing that symbol before, on a stone tablet in a forgotten museum basement. She made a call and asked for it to be brought to her lab immediately. Back in the ocean, the second drone descended into the deep. As it got closer to the strange object, the water turned darker, heavier. Then it saw it, the giant ship, resting silently on the ocean floor, covered in moss and metal. Lights glowed faintly along its sides. It looked ancient, like it had been built long before modern history, but it wasn't broken. It was waiting. Carter watched from the command center. "Try to scan it." The drone sent out a sonar pulse. For a moment, everything was quiet. Then the ship responded, not with weapons, but with data. A file was sent directly to Earth's satellite systems. The tech team opened it carefully. Inside was a map, not of Earth, but of space. A route, a line that started from Earth and led to distant stars. "This is a trail," one officer said, "like a travel path." Carter nodded. "A path they've used before." Suddenly, Elena entered the room holding the old tablet. "Commander, I think I found something." She showed the stone and placed it next to the image of the girl's necklace from the alien video. It matched perfectly. "This symbol," Elena said, "means return. I think those humans were taken to build something. And now, someone wants them back." The crew went silent again. If humans had been taken long ago, then maybe Earth wasn't just a random planet. Maybe it was important to someone out there. Just then, another alert rang out. "Commander," a voice shouted, "we have a visitor. One of the alien ships is landing." Alone. The team rushed outside to the landing site. A small alien craft touched down just beyond the base. The doors opened slowly, and one figure stepped out. It wasn't wearing armor. It didn't raise a weapon. It simply held up its hands. Carter walked out, unarmed. The alien looked thin and tired. Its skin was pale, and its eyes were dark but calm. It held a small device and pressed a button. A voice came through, calm, broken English. "My name is Cal. I am not your enemy." Carter stared at him. "Then why are you here?" Cal spoke slowly. "Long ago, we were told humans were dangerous. We believed lies. We took your people. We helped build a machine, a prison. But some of us learned the truth." He pointed to the sky. "The ones with the gold crest, they are not us. They are something else. They control worlds. They erase history. They use both humans and aliens." Elena stepped forward. "What do they want?" Cal answered, "Control, fear, obedience. They need no armies. They make others fight their wars." Carter's voice was cold. "So this war?" Cal nodded. "A setup. They started it. But only you, only humans have the full memory. It is hidden inside you, in your blood, in your history." Everyone stood in silence. Then Cal said, "We want peace, but they will not allow it. If you dig deeper, they will strike again." Carter took a deep breath. "Then let them come. We're done running from shadows." Cal looked into her eyes. "Then you must go to the stars and find the missing ones." Suddenly, the ground shook. Alarms went off again. An officer shouted, "Something's coming through the atmosphere. Fast." Carter looked to the sky. Fireballs streaked through the clouds. Not just ships, weapons. Something had been triggered. Cal's voice was low. "They know you found the truth." Carter turned to her team. "Get ready. This time, we fight the real enemy. And above them, The stars began to burn. The sky looked like it was tearing open. Fire rained down as massive objects fell from space. But these weren't just bombs. They were something else. Machines, alive and hunting. Inside Earth's Defense Command, alarms blared as Commander Rhea Carter and her team watched the screens. Giant black shapes were landing across the globe. Unlike the peaceful alien ships, these ones had no message, no warning. They arrived with violence. "They're not the same," Carter said. "These aren't the ones we've seen before." Kale, the alien who came in peace, stood beside her. His face was pale. "They are the Enforcers, built by the ones with the gold crest. Sent to punish, to erase." The first wave hit a city in South America. In just minutes, entire blocks were leveled. But it wasn't random destruction. The machines targeted libraries, data centers, museums, places that stored human history. "They're wiping our memory," said Dr. Elena Moore. Just like Kale said. "They don't want us to remember who we are, or what was done to us." Carter turned to her officers. "Activate all global defenses. Prioritize protecting archives and data systems. If they want to erase us, we'll show them we remember." Soldiers, scientists, and civilians around the world worked together, protecting what they could. Underground bunkers were opened, and hidden storage vaults were activated to save old records and ancient texts. But time was short. Kale spoke again. "There is one way to stop them. You must go to the source. The machine that controls them. It's not here. It's in space, on a hidden station called the Eye." "The Eye?" Carter asked. Kale nodded. "Built in your image. Floating above a dead moon. Controlled by the ones who started it all. If you destroy it, the machines will fall." Carter didn't wait. She ordered the launch of Earth's only deep space ship, the Elysium Protocol. It was built for defense, but now it would carry the hope of the entire planet. Carter chose a small team. Elena, Kale, and 5 of her best soldiers. As they prepared for launch, Earth kept fighting. People all across the planet stood their ground, not for power, but for truth. They weren't just defending their homes. They were defending their past. The ship rose into space, cutting through the black sky. Carter watched Earth grow smaller behind them. The stars stretched ahead. No one spoke much. They didn't need to. Each person knew what was at stake. Hours passed. Then Kale pointed. "There," he said, "behind that dead moon." The crew gasped. Floating in the darkness was a giant station. The Eye. Its surface was smooth and silver, shaped like a giant ring with a dark sphere in the middle. Lights blinked across its edges, and strange signals pulsed from its center. Carter narrowed her eyes. "That thing controls the war." Kale nodded. "And more. It controls minds. It controls memory. If you destroy the core, the system collapses." As they approached, the ship shook. Defense drones launched from the Eye. Carter gave the order. "Shields up. Return fire." The Elysium danced between blasts. Elena hacked into the alien system, finding a safe path to dock. The ship latched onto a small entry port. The team rushed in with weapons ready. Inside, the station was cold and silent. No people, just machines. They moved quickly, following Kale through silver hallways until they reached the core room. Inside floated a giant black sphere, pulsing with light. Wires ran from it like veins. Screens around the room showed images of Earth, of humans, watching, recording, controlling. "This is it," Kale said. "The truth is locked inside that core." Carter looked at Elena. "Can you open it?" Elena stepped forward. Her fingers flew across the alien control panel. The sphere slowly cracked open. A light poured out, and then a voice. It spoke in perfect English. "You should not be here." Everyone froze. "You were made to forget," the voice said. "You were given a chance to live, without knowing your past. But you have broken that peace." Carter spoke boldly. You're the ones who took our people, who made others fight for you. Why? The voice replied, because humans are the key. Your minds are strong. Too strong. You remember too much, so we kept you blind. It was safer. For who? Carter asked. The voice didn't answer. Alina found the shutdown control. I can overload the cord, she said, but we only get one shot. Suddenly, robotic guards burst into the room. The team fought hard. Carter fired, protecting Alina while Cal shielded her with alien tech. Sparks flew. Metal clashed. One soldier was hit, but the rest stood firm. Do it now, Carter yelled. Alina pressed the button. The core screamed. A wave of light blasted through the station. Back on Earth, the black machines stopped moving. One by one, they powered down. The skies cleared. People came out from hiding. The war machines were dead. In space, the eye began to fall apart. Carter and her team rushed back to the ship. They launched just as the station exploded behind them. Fire lit up the stars. As they flew back to Earth, Cale looked at Carter. You've done what no one else could. You saw the trap and broke it. Carter looked out the window. Earth was still there, alive, awake, free. But now, it had questions, and the truth was only just beginning to rise. The Earth was quiet for the first time in weeks. After the eye was destroyed, the machines stopped, the skies cleared, cities began to heal. But peace was not simple. Now, everyone wanted to know the truth. Commander Carter stood before a global broadcast. She looked tired, but strong. Her voice echoed across the world. We were never just fighting a war. We were protecting a truth that someone tried to bury. But we survived. We remember. And now we search for what was taken from us. The people of Earth listened. For the first time in human history, all countries worked together, not for power, but for knowledge. They wanted to know, where did the stolen humans go? Are they still alive? Back at Defense Command, Dr. Alina Moore was scanning the files from the ice core before it exploded. She found something, an encrypted map. It showed a small planet far outside normal star charts. The file called it Eden-13. Cale looked at the map and froze. That's a restricted zone, he said. No one goes there. It was cut off centuries ago. Lost. Forgotten. Maybe someone made sure it was forgotten, Carter said. They launched again, this time not for war, but to find the truth. The ship Elysium carried Carter, Alina, Cale, and a new team of explorers. As they left Earth, Carter looked down one last time. We're not just finding people, she said. We're finding a piece of who we are. After 3 days in deep space, they reached the edge of known charts. Eden-13 floated ahead, half hidden in a strange dust cloud. It looked peaceful from a distance, blue oceans, green forests. But as they got closer, their sensors went strange. No signals, no satellites, no signs of tech, said the pilot. But the air is clean, Alina said. There's life down there, lots of it. They landed quietly in a large valley. The air was warm. Trees moved gently in the wind. Birds flew overhead. It looked like paradise. But something felt too quiet. Then, from the trees, people appeared. Not aliens, humans. Men, women, even children. Their clothes were simple, their eyes wide with shock. One woman stepped forward. She looked at Carter closely, then said in perfect English, "Are you from Earth?" Carter's heart jumped. "Yes. We came looking for you." Tears ran down the woman's face. "You finally came back." The people of Eden-13 gathered. Their leaders spoke with Carter's team. And slowly, the truth came out. "We were taken hundreds of years ago," said an old man. "Told we were chosen. Promised safety from a war we didn't start. But they left us here. No ships, no machines, just land and sky. "We built our lives again," said another. "We remembered Earth in our stories. We taught our children where they came from. But generations passed, and we thought maybe Earth had forgotten us." Elena scanned their DNA. It was true. These people were Earth's long-lost children, survivors of the stolen past. Kale stepped forward. "You were hidden, by design. The ones who built the Eye wanted no one to find you." One man nodded. "We knew they watched from the sky. Sometimes their drones came, but we stayed quiet. We learned to hide." Carter spoke gently. "Do you want to come back?" There was a long silence. Then the woman replied, "Some of us, yes. Others have lived here too long. This is our home now." That night, the crew sat around a fire with the Eden villagers. They told stories about Earth, about stars, about things lost and found. One young boy came to Carter and asked, "Is Earth still beautiful?" The crew of the Elysium floated in orbit above Eden 13, watching as rescue ships from Earth began to land on the planet. For the first time in centuries, the forgotten humans were being brought home, or at least given a choice. But even in this moment of hope, something was wrong. Commander Carter stood by the window, staring into deep space. There was a signal, weak, strange, and repeating. It had started just after they found the stasis chamber underground. At first, they thought it was noise, but now it had a pattern. Dr. Elena Moore was working in the lab, running the signal through every filter she knew. "It's not random," she said. "It's a beacon. A warning." Cale stood nearby. His face looked worried. "It means someone, or something, is still watching." Carter turned. "Watching from where?" Cale said, "From far above. Beyond your maps. There are things out there, not just ships or machines. Minds. Minds that never sleep. They are the ones who built the Eye. And if they know we broke it, they won't stay silent for long." Back on Eden 13, strange things were already happening. One of the rescue teams reported a missing officer, then another. Their radios went dead. Carter immediately ordered a search. When they reached the last known location, a ridge above the valley, they found only footprints and a strange black dust on the ground. Cale knelt beside it. His voice was low. "This is not from Earth. This is shadow code. It's how the Watchers leave marks." Carter stared at the horizon. "So they're here." Cale stood. "No, not yet. But they're sending something ahead. A scout. A shadow of what's coming." That night, the Elysium's systems went haywire. Lights blinked. Doors opened on their own. Alarms went off, then stopped. Elena checked the ship's AI core. "It's been infected," she said. "Not by a virus, by a mind. Something intelligent was trying to take control." Carter gave the order. "Shut down all outside links. No signals in or out. We don't let them inside." But it was too late. In the control room, a screen lit up on its own. A symbol appeared. An eye with a crack down the middle. Then a voice spoke. "You found the lost. You broke the chains. Now we come to fix the error." Cale stepped back. "It's them, the ones who call themselves the architects." The voice continued. "Humans were never meant to know. You are fire, burning too bright. We covered your flame once. We will do it again." Carter stared at the screen. "Why? Why are we such a threat?" The voice answered, "Because you remember. You resist. You rebel. The perfect system cannot survive a species like yours." Then the screen went dark. Silence filled the ship. Cale whispered, "They are coming." The next day, an object appeared in the sky above Eden 13. At first, it looked like a star, but it grew larger, fast. A black sphere, smooth and silent, entered orbit without any heat or sound. No engines, no lights, just presence. Elena scanned it. "It's not metal. It's not anything I can identify. It's just mass, dense, alive. Kale stared at it. It's a Watcher core, a piece of their will. It doesn't speak. It doesn't move. It just looks and learns. The people of Eden began to panic. Some remembered old stories, tales passed down from their great-grandparents, stories of a silent eye in the sky, a god that erased entire villages when they tried to send signals. Now it was back. Carter called Earth. We've been spotted. Whatever controls that thing, it knows we found the colony. We need reinforcements, fast. Earth responded quickly. A fleet was launched. Defense satellites were sent to orbit Eden. But Kale warned them, you cannot fight it like a ship. It will not fire weapons. It will use thought. It will twist minds. It will make you turn on yourselves. And he was right. That night, one of Carter's own soldiers turned against the crew. He tried to shut down the ship's engines and steer it toward the black sphere. When they stopped him, he had no memory of his actions. I heard a voice, he said. It told me Earth was a lie. That we were the mistake. That we must return to sleep. More incidents followed. People forgetting names. Turning violent. Staring at the sky for hours without blinking. Elena found the source. The black sphere. It's using low-frequency waves. Targeting our minds. It's rewriting thoughts. Making us doubt, fear, forget. Kale looked grim. That's their weapon. Not lasers or bombs. Doubt. Memory. Fear. Carter made her choice. We're not waiting for them to take us one by one. We go inside that sphere. We find its heart. And we shut it down. Cal's eyes widened. No one has ever entered a Watcher core and returned. Carter just said, then we'll be the first. The crew suited up. A shuttle was prepared. And as they flew toward the silent black sphere, the stars around them seemed to blink out, one by one. The Watchers were no longer watching. They were waking up. The shuttle moved slowly toward the black sphere, cutting through cold, silent space. No weapons fired. No systems blocked them. It was like the sphere wanted them to come. Inside the shuttle, no one spoke. Commander Carter checked her weapon, but deep inside, she knew guns wouldn't save them here. This wasn't a battle of fire. It was a battle of the mind. Dr. Elena Moore stared at her scanner. This thing, it's not metal. It's not tech. It's alive. It's reading us, pulling thoughts from our memories. Kale stood by the window, his face pale. The Watchers were never builders. They were erasers. They erase what doesn't fit. And to them, humans don't fit. As the shuttle got closer, a hole opened in the side of the sphere, smooth, round, like a giant eye blinking. Carter nodded. That's our door. They entered. Inside, there was no gravity, no sound, just endless blackness, like floating inside a dream. Suddenly, light appeared, not from lamps, but from their own memories. Carter saw her father, long dead, standing in the distance. Elena saw her childhood home. One of the soldiers sought his brother who disappeared in the last war. This is a trap, Kale warned. They're pulling your strongest memories, trying to hold you here. Carter closed her eyes, focused, and whispered, you don't control me. The memory vanished. They pushed forward, floating through strange halls made of shifting light and shadow. At the center, they found it, the core. It was a floating shape, like a crystal and a brain combined. It pulsed with energy, and as they approached, it spoke. Not with sound, but directly into their minds. You were never meant to wake. Carter's hands clenched. You were designed to forget. We gave you peace. We took your pain. And you chose war. Elena whispered, you stole lives. You hid whole worlds. You erased truth. The voice replied, truth is dangerous. Look what it made you do. Kale stepped forward. Truth made us free. The core changed shape. It grew taller, darker. It showed them Earth burning. Eden destroyed. Billions lost. Images flashed through their minds. You see this, the voice said. This is your future, unless you go back. Forget. Sleep. Carter's knees weakened. For a moment, she saw herself, old, broken, alone. She almost gave in. But then she remembered. She remembered the stolen people, the hidden colony, the lies, the pain, and how hard they had fought to remember. No, she said. She raised her weapon, not to shoot, but to plant the device Alina had built, a memory overload chip filled with one thing the Watchers feared: human truth. Alina uploaded data, videos, history, images of rebellion, of love, of sacrifice, of survival. She poured it into the core like fire. The core screamed. The walls of the black sphere shook. Light cracked across the darkness. The memories they had tried to erase were now burning them from the inside. They can't control it, Kale shouted. They never learned how to handle memory, only how to bury it. The core twisted and collapsed. The sphere began to fall apart. Time to go, Carter yelled. They rushed back through the shifting halls, now breaking into shards of glass and shadow. One soldier didn't make it, lost in a collapsing memory. The rest barely reached the shuttle. As they blasted away, the black sphere broke into 1,000 pieces, not with a sound, but with a silence so deep it shook their souls. From orbit, Alina watched the debris fall like ash. It's over, she said. No, Carter said softly. It's just beginning. Back on Earth, celebrations began. The Watcher Corps was gone. The hidden colony of Eden was safe. And something else happened. Across the galaxy, other species, once controlled, once erased, began to wake up too. The destruction of the core sent a signal of freedom. Forgotten races remembered who they were. Lost planets lit up again. Humanity had done something no one had dared. They broke the system. Months later, at the United Worlds Assembly, Earth was given a new name: the race that remembers. Kale stood beside Carter on a balcony overlooking the stars. You changed everything, he said. Carter shook her head. No, we remembered everything. That's what they feared. Alina joined them. And now, we tell the story. Carter looked up at the stars. Somewhere out there, others were still watching. Others still afraid of the truth. But now, humanity had a voice, a memory, and a future.